નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Standard 8th, Subject Science, Chapter 16, Light. Dear students, in the last video we have discussed about what is light and what makes the things visible. Today we will see the laws of reflection with the activities. Let us understand by the activities. So here, what you have to take, fix a white sheet of paper on a drawing board or a table. So you have to take sheet of paper, you have to fix on the drawing table or a table also. Take a comb and close all its openings except one in the middle. So what you have to take a comb in such a way, see like this, okay, here I am taking the comb. Okay, now, so this one is a comb. Okay, now in such a way that you have to close here, this portion you have to close it, and here also you have to close it, and just you have to leave the gap in the middle. Middle you have to leave the gap. So hold the comb perpendicular. Okay, you can use the strip here with comb. Take a comb and close it. Close all its openings except one in the middle. Okay, in the middle you have to keep the gap. You can use a strip of black paper for this purpose. For closing, you can use the black strip of paper also. Hold the comb perpendicular to the sheet of paper. Okay, such a way that it should be perpendicular to the sheet of paper. Throw light from a torch through the opening of the comb from one side. Okay, here you have to now throw the light through this. The light we are throwing from here, just to think here. Okay, from here you are throwing the light. Okay, now what is the next one? With a slight adjustment of the torch and the comb, you will see ray of light along the paper on the other side. So here, such a way you have to adjust that you should observe the ray also. And place a strip of plain mirror in the path of the light. So here, strip of plain mirror you have to keep. Okay, then what will you observe? So what do you observe? After striking the mirror, so the ray will strike the mirror. Okay, the ray you have passed. So it strikes the mirror. And then you will observe that the ray of the light is reflected in another direction. So this is reflected in the other direction. So from this you will come to know that the light ray which strikes any surface is called the incident ray. Whatever the light, what is after striking the mirror, the ray of the light is reflected. So that is in another direction. The light ray which strikes any surface, that is called as, okay, first one is this is the striking ray. So that is called as the incident ray. The ray that comes back from the surface after the reflection, so that is called as a reflected ray. Okay, got the idea this much? Now, see, dear students, here one thing you have to remember that a ray of light is an idealization. See, a ray of light, single ray of light, this is the band of light. But here, for the idealization, we are using the word ray of light. But actually, ray of light study is very difficult. Single ray is producing difficult. You know that rays will be the band of light. Group of lights, band of light is moving. But here you are using the word a ray of light, that is only for idealization, just imagination. In reality, we have a narrow beam of light. We are using the narrow beam, band of light, which is made up of several rays. So there is several rays will be there. But all the rays are showing the same nature. So that is why here we are using a ray of light. For simplicity, we use the term a ray of narrow beam of light. Okay, understand this one? Now, next one. Draw lines showing the position of the plane mirror. Okay, draw the line. Okay, plane mirror, you have to use it. The incident ray and the reflected ray on the paper with the help of your friends. So, draw the lines on the plane mirror, the incident ray and the reflected ray on the paper with the help of your friends. Okay, this we have done here also. This is also okay. So, okay. Now, remove the mirror and the comb. Okay, you have to both the here if you are using this one, remove the mirror and comb and observe it. So what you have observed, draw a line making an angle of 90 degree to the line representing the mirror. So in between you have to line. So this the way, and the middle you have to use the perpendicular line where the incident ray strikes the mirror. So this line is called as normal, you are saying. What is normal? The normal means the line which is perpendicular to the reflecting surface. So that is called as normal. Okay. So now what you learned? Incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal. Incident ray means the ray the ray which strikes any surface, that is called as a incident ray. The ray that comes back from the surface, that is called as reflected ray. The ray which is perpendicular to the incident, so that is called as a normal. Okay, dear students, now for example, now this one. Okay, for example, you take this one. This is the ray, it is the incident ray, and here reflected ray, and this one is the normal. Okay, got the idea now? So the angle between the normal and the incident ray is called as angle of incidence. So this is called as now, not this angle. So this angle is called as angle I, or angle of incidence. And the angle between the normal and the reflected ray, this is you are doing now, this angle is called as angle of R, angle of reflection. Next one is measure the angle of incidence, angle of reflection. So you have to measure it, this one as well as this one. So what will be there? Repeat the activity several times. You have to use, okay, here not only single time, not. You have to repeat the activity several times by changing the angle of the incidence. Okay, angle of incidence you can change here. So then observe. So what you will observe there? Okay, here say angle of incidence, suppose 40 degree will be there. Angle of reflection also 40 degree. Angle of reflection 20 degree is there. Here also 20 degree. Angle of incidence 60 degree will be there. Here also 60 degree. So like this we are noticing. So do you see any relation between the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection? Sir, here what we are observing, both are same. If the experiment is carried out carefully, it is seen that angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. See, dear students, after doing this activity, what you will come to know? You will come to know that angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. This is one of the laws of reflection. This is one of the laws of the reflection. Okay, got the idea now? So this is a very important law. So in examination, sometimes asking, write the laws of reflection. So then you have to write angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Okay, got the idea? So what the activity says, you see, the activity is what you have to done to prove that. So okay, describe the activities. Then you have to use the word, fix a white sheet of paper on a drawing board or a table. Okay, this is the first point. And second one is, take a comb and close all its openings. Okay, all its opening you have to close it, except one in the middle. Okay, middle you have to leave the gap. So then you can use a strip of black paper for this, for covering. Okay, here you are covering, So for that purpose, you can use a thick of black paper. And hold the comb such a way that is perpendicular to the sheet of paper. Perpendicular means 90 degree. So that should be perpendicular to the sheet of paper. And next, what you have to do, throw the light from the torch. Use the light or throw a light from the torch through the opening of the comb from one side. Through the opening of the comb to the one side with slight adjustment of the torch. A slight adjustment, torch and comb, because here you will see the ray of light along the paper. We have to observe the ray of light on the paper on the other side of the comb. So that's why here slight adjustment you have to do. Keep the comb and the torch steady, means constantly. Place a strip of plain paper in the path of the light ray. Okay, one strip of paper you have to here you use it, or even glass also. Notice that after striking the mirror, the ray of the light is reflected in the another direction. So here that will be, you should notice, or here observation will be there. Notice after striking the mirror, the ray light is reflected in another direction. Then what you have to do, remove the mirror and the comb. Then you have to draw the line, angle of 90 degree. So means normal, where the line representing the mirror at the point where the incident ray strikes. From the incident ray you have to make a perpendicular line. Okay. Then you have to measure the angle of incidence and as well as angle of reflection. Both you have to measure it. So repeat this activity by doing this several times by changing the angle of incidence. So what your incidence you are doing, so that's what you have to change the angles. Any sort of curving, okay, change this. So like this ray you are in any line or in any angle. So then what observation? Note the observation, and what you will observe that? You will observe that angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. For example, angle of incidence is 30 degrees there. So you will get angle of reflection also 30 degree only. And angle of incidence 45 degrees there. And you will get angle of reflection also 45 degree. Or angle of reflection 50 degree will be there. And here also you will see the angle of reflection is 60 degree. So means what? What your conclusion is what? So our conclusion is the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. This is the first law. Okay. Now the second law we will discuss in another video. In the next video. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for joining us.